Sometimes there's a match you can't describe with words, and all you can do is hit the play button. Sometimes the fans in attendance are such a part of a match that it doesn't really matter what the two guys in the ring are doing or even saying. If the crowd wants to all get on their feet and in union, believe in something and chant something and be into every little movement they make, no matter what the movement was, they have the chance to turn something that looks great into something epic, something memorable, something people won't forget. I can't think of any words that I could put out there that would illustrate how much of a classic The Rock vs. Hollywood-Hogan was. I don't think I could try. If I did, it would just be a mockery. I'd just be saying, Hogan goes for a Hulk up. Hogan poses to the crowd. The Rock looked beaten, and he looked like, okay, let's go with this. That's all I would say. But there's so much more to it. The Rock and Hogan wasn't about the storyline leading up to it with the whole vehicular manslaughter angle that they tried to rub. This was more about a moment in time, something we never thought we'd see. WWF buys WCW, yeah, but a year later, and we get Hulk Hogan in the NWO back, and he gets to face The Rock. The Rock, one of two icons, him and Austin, that we get at the same time in the same era, and we get a fresh Rock against Hogan, who can just at the end of his run, and we get that in the ring at WrestleMania in the Skydome in Toronto, which is now known as the Rogers Center. That's big enough, but then when they actually went out there and they did the thing, and it took you back to being a kid, it took you back to all the reasons you like wrestling, just how powerful the crowd can make it be, and just how influential all the fans are to make WrestleMania what WrestleMania is. They always say it's the fans, but it's never more illustrated than in this event during that match. That's just what I think. I'm Brett Mix here with Macho Wrestling 101. Hit like and subscribe if you like our videos. Today is WrestleMania 18, or X8, from the Skydome in Toronto, Canada on Sunday, March the 17th, 2002. This record-breaking attendance for the Skydome of 68,237 people came in gross receipts of 6.1 million Canadian, 3.9 million US. Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler do the commentary for the show. Saliva sang Superstar, among other singles, throughout the rest of the night. This is the first WrestleMania held outside the USA since WrestleMania 6, and that's still today. That record still is there today, even though they're almost at their 40th WrestleMania in Philadelphia. That still holds today. WrestleMania X8 and 6 were the only two away from US. Regal and RVD open up for the IC title. And this one here was also a match for the Intercontinental title, like he was last year with Regal. Regal he went on to face Jericho last year in the first Intercontinental title match versus Jericho at WrestleMania X7. Here he faced Regal. I got my events mixed up for a second. He faced Regal for the title. There's a spot in this match, a very sick full Nelson by Regal to RVD into a suplex where RVD literally lands on his head. Regal in the Jericho match worked on his shoulder and did things like arm bars and hammer locks and overhead wrist locks as he stowed his shoulder into the ring post. That was last year. Regal didn't know what to do. He didn't know what kind of scouting to bring, because RVD's offense is all unorthodox. RVD could hit a spinning heel kick in just one motion. RVD, with his educated feet, as JR would say, could hit anything from anywhere at any time. And it ended up being too much for Regal, as he won at 6:19. He became the new Intercontinental Champion. I rate that match 3 stars, the opener. RVD beat Regal for the IC title. DDP then defended the European title against Christian. Christian's a hometown boy, so they had Christian say he's from Florida. DDP gets the win with the Diamond Cutter at 6:08. This match was was a gem. It told a good story in just a few number of minutes. I gave it 2 stars 3/4. Maven defended the hardcore title against Goldust. Maven was at his peak here, obviously excelling from his popularity from Tough Enough. He defeated Goldust. But then Spike Dudley came out, and Spike Dudley hit the Doggy Dog on Maven from the corner, winning the hardcore title at 3:15. Spike then ran to the back, and Molly and others would win the hardcore title, but then Christian would hit a door on Molly later in the event, and Christian would cover it, and Christian became the champion. Then somebody else, I believe, knocks Christian out and then holds the title outside of a car door. I don't believe it's Christian. Somebody does. I have to rewatch that part. It doesn't matter, because this is a time when the hardcore title was being passed around like everywhere. Everybody was a hardcore champion at this time. Next we have Kurt Angle versus Kane. This one was a gem. Kurt Angle and Kane put on a great match here. This was a great singles match. You wouldn't think it, because these guys have like chemistry of like a TV match. You've seen Kurt Angle versus Kane a million times before. But this match, Kurt Angle worked on the ankle of Kane. Kane really brought it, and the contrast in styles was really evident here. And I enjoyed it. I really thought the Kane and Angle match was great. I rated it 3 stars. Angle reversed an Angle. Angle goes for an Angle slam. Kane countered it into a choke slam. Angle countered his choke slam into a roll up, and then Angle pinned him with his feet on the ropes at 10 minutes and 45 seconds. Awesome match. The Undertaker took on Ric Flair next. This was probably the match of the night. This is just Flair's second WrestleMania. His first one he lost to Savage at WrestleMania 8. And 10 years later he comes back for another one. This is Undertaker kicking the shit out of Ric Flair for 20 minutes. Flair's a bloody mess, and Flair keeps trying to come back, and he just won't let go. There's a spot where Double A hits a spine buster heading behind the ring, or under the ring, and then Flair gets a 2. But a bloody Flair will not say no until he did, after a tombstone pile driver at 1847. Taker counts how many victims he has at WrestleMania, and he reaches to 10. I give that match 4 stars. It's a classic. Next match was Edge versus Booker T. Adam Copeland was here at his home of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Him and Trish will be making their hometown comebacks during this pay-per-view. Booker T. This match was over a Japanese shampoo commercial. Pretty silly. And at 6:32, Edge put Booker T away with his execution after he tried to spin a Rooney. A star and 3/4. It was pretty lame. This was lame too. It's Austin versus Hall. It's the NWO with Steve Austin in the mid-card match. This one did not go over well with Steve Austin. That's a whole other video for a whole other day. I think I'll talk about that video on a different day. But the match was awkward and just a bit disappointing. They got the right winner, I feel, but at the same time, Scott Hall should have been treated better from the beginning. And at 9:51, Austin pinned Scott Hall with a stunner, and Austin moves on. Yeah, that was my phone. Nobody's gonna interrupt my fucking review. Nobody. So yeah, Austin won with the stunner, a star and 3/4. Billy and Chuck defended the titles against the APA and the Dudley Boys and Hardy Boys in a fatal 4-way elimination match. Stacy Keibler was memorable during this match. Not so much the other guys. Sorry. I can't really recall what happened because I was too busy looking at Stacy Keibler. In the end, 13:50, Billy and Chuck retained the titles by last eliminating the Hardys. I gave it a star and 3/4. 3/4 of that was for Stacy. Rock versus Hogan. This again, I rewatched the beginning of this video. This could have been the main event if it happened today. This is a moment in time. And I didn't know how to rate it out of 5 stars, so I just gave it 4. But it's a classic. Already went over that. The Rock wins with the people's elbow. Jazz versus Trish versus Lita in a 3-way for the women's title. For some reason, Trish doesn't get the win. She might have injured herself, her leg or her groin area on the ring post in this match, but Jazz pins Lita at 6:16 after a superplex. Strange match, only a star and a half. The main event, Triple H was challenging for Chris Jericho's undisputed title. The whole feud was garbage. It really didn't sit well with anyone. Jericho, it was more about Stephanie and Triple H than it was Jericho. Triple H wins at 1841 with the pedigree after he had his leg worked on the entire match by Jericho. So underwhelming when you consider that fully loaded 2000, these guys put on a banger. And here they are not even putting on a great match. I gave it 2 stars and a half because they tried. I hope they tried. Doesn't look like it. In the end, Triple H won at 1841 with pedigree. And I rated this WrestleMania X8 5 out of 10. You had Hogan and Rock, Angle and Kane, and Undertaker and Flair to get it a passing grade. But other than that, this WrestleMania, I had the flu when I watched it the first time. So I don't know if my rewatches always make me think of the flu. Like, I was badly ill, and I had friends over. I had friends over for a lot of WrestleManias, but I was badly ill the next day after this. And I don't know if that affects my judgment when I rewatch this event. I always think of when I'm being sick. But no, this WrestleMania did not work. It wasn't terrible, but it just didn't work in terms of look at what we had at X7 and watch what we have in X9. Wait till I get to that. So you want to stay around for my reviews for that. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, that's WrestleMania X8. Hogan and Rock was a moment in time and definitely worthy of seeing. So it's worthy of seeing for that alone. I'm Brett Mix. We'll see you in the other videos, and I'm out. Thanks for watching, guys.